Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal today linked with a Brazilian player who goes by the name of Malcolm. Yes, I love these Brazilian names. Malcolm, it's brilliant. He's a forward though. He plays for Bordeaux and he scored 18 goals in 78 games. 20 years of age, said to be valued around £50 million. Now, he's a really hot prospect. Manchester United are interested in him and several other clubs, including Spurs as well. But Arsenal said to be in talks with his representatives and that they're interested in him bringing him in to Arsenal. Now, the Bordeaux president was asked about Malcolm earlier on in December about, do you think he could be on the move in January? And he said that, listen, we're not looking for him to leave in January, but it sounds like Arsenal are interested in him, or are having talks with him. Many people speculating that he could be a replacement for Alexis Sanchez. Now, no disrespect, prospect to replace a world-class player that can do it week in, week out. No. But listen, we'll have to see what happens with this one. He does look like a top prospect, but at the moment it's just talks. I spoke about this next guy a couple of days ago. He's an Argentinian player, goes by the name of Christian Pavon. He again is still being linked heavily to Arsenal. He plays at the moment for Boca Juniors. Again, another young player, 21 years of age, tearing it up over there in Argentina. Some people describing him as the new Aguero. Well, newspapers describing him as the new Aguero because that's what newspapers do to try to sell more newspapers. He's got a £27 million release clause, which a lot of people have been saying Arsenal may activate. But the president of Boca Juniors also saying that he's had no interest from Arsenal, he's no communication that they may be, up for, activating that release clause. So at the moment, it's still a lot of speculation, as is at this time of year. It is January, it is the transfer window, and we're going to get lots of it. Again, papers speculating that he's a replacement for Alexis Sanchez. Again, I say a young player who'd have to leave, let's just say he did leave from Argentina, where it's completely different type of football, to come and play in an intense Premier League. He'd have to learn his trade. How could he walk into the shoes of Alexis Sanchez? This is the problem at Arsenal at the moment, is that how do you replace a player like Alexis Sanchez? You can't replace a player like that in a January transfer window. You've got to replace a player like that in the summer when you've got time to look over top targets to bring in. And, these top players are not going to go anywhere at this time of year, unless they play for Arsenal, that is, where we have our dire, and I keep saying it every day, and I'd love it to get through to, for them to hear it at Arsenal, because I think this is how a lot of fans feel as well, that our transfer policy has been dire and it's been a disgrace. Jack Wilshere, we're hearing today that Jack Wilshere is set to be offered a new contract. He may have to take a pay cut, they're saying, said to be about £90,000 a week, but rising with incentives on how he plays and how many games he plays and that to £120,000 a week, which is no little amount of money, by the way. And I do understand that with his fitness and that, but why don't they get this done as soon as possible? And it's, now, as I said yesterday, Coquelin could be on his way out. Mesut Ozil, we don't know what's happening. Alexis Sanchez, we know he wants to leave. He's still at the club. Jack Wilshere, still to be resolved. On the horizon, Aaron Ramsey's contract still needs to be sorted out. Danny Welbeck's contract still needs to be sorted out. Mustafi, we were trying to get rid of him in the summer, then he still stayed. Chambers, we were trying to get rid of him. He's still here. Debuchy, come on. I'm not overreacting and I'm not being harsh when I say that our transfer policy at Arsenal Football Club is an absolute disgrace. That we are not been operating like how a top club should operate when it comes to these type of things. And finally, listen on the Alexis thing. Hopefully he'll play tonight in the Carabao Cup. I think if he doesn't play in that game, that's all the information we need to know, that he's definitely going to be moving on. And a lot of the money that's been quoted, you know, that City may be willing to pay 20 million for him, Arsenal would accept 35 million for him. I don't know now, you know. The thing is, really and truly, yes, it makes sense to just cash in because, you know, in 4 months' time, he's going to walk away for nothing. But then on the other hand, if you've got nobody to bring in for him at this stage, what's the point in getting rid of him? Arsenal need to get into the Champions League in order to try and attract players to this club. He's our best player. He's a guy who can make things happen. Look at the stats already this season. He's been our best, even though he's been having a poor season. When it comes to scoring goals and that, he's the go-to guy. What are we going to sell him? Without a replacement? It's a mess. It's a mess. Looking forward to the game tonight, at least. Listen, let's hope we can go there and get a result. At least stay in the game so that when we get back for that second leg, we've got hope. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea tonight. But as I said, it'll be interesting to see if Alexis starts.
Subscribe to ArsenalFanTV.